This video looks at the various rules concerning the use of pronouns in Old English clauses and sentences. In particular, it focuses on the rules of grammatical agreement and how they govern the use of pronouns in clauses and sentences. The neuter pronouns are looked at as an exception to these rules. All right, let's start. So pronouns and their antecedents. Now, the pronouns and their antecedents, that is the nouns they refer back to, that's what's meant by antecedents, must agree with each other in number and gender. So if you have a look here, the pronouns he, he, and his, refer back to the noun kuning, king. So tall tham kuning, text, he, something, something, his feares. So to the king he for his life. Say her pere thasnama, the harper whose name. The noun her pere, the harper, singular masculine, also agrees with the, or should I say the pronoun thas, whose, agrees in case, number and case, singular and masculine. Sorry, I was getting mixing those two words up around there. So the case of both these words, the noun and the pronoun, are in the masculine and singular. Say her pere thasnama, the harper whose name. Same up here, he, his, singular, masculine, singular in number, masculine in gender. They refer back to the king, kuning, who is that noun is in the singular and masculine. All right, another example. Seosuna gath betwux, heo venan, and eorthan, on tha helve the heo shinth, thar bist dai, and on tha helve the heo neer shinth, thar bist nicht. The sun goes between heaven and earth. On the side where it shines, there is day, and on the side where it does not shine, there is night. So in Old English, a sun was a feminine noun. And so any pronouns referring to it had to be feminine as well, hence the heo here, heo here. Whereas today we would say it. So the rules of concord meant that the pronoun heo had to be used, whereas today we don't call the sun a she, we call it it, it's neuter. But I have seen a version of this where the word hit is in there, meaning it. It's a neuter pronoun, and we'll see why that is an exception later on. But at the moment, this passage can make sense because the heo here and the heo here, the her, that is her, refer back to the sun, suna, which is a feminine noun. All right, so here's some examples. At his sulves harmes, at his own home. His sulves harmes, or genitive, as is the case, singular and masculine. So the number and the gender must agree, as according to this rule. Let's go on to another one. Ur el genitive plural, as in number, and gender is masculine for both. They agree with each other. They follow the rules of grammatical agreement. Thus eodichan apostolos, the blessed apostle. Genitive, hence the S there on the end there, apostolos. Eodichan, thus, right, the blessed apostle. Singular in number, masculine in gender, but also genitive because it's of or relating to the apostle there, hence the genitive. Again, up here, genitive because it's all of us, it's relating to us. We own it as in genitive, as in possessive, possession. Same up here, the genitive because it's his home. All right, if the antecedent of the pronoun is an inanimate object or an animal of unknown gender, then the natural pronoun hit is often but not always used. Hence the example I was talking about earlier with the sun. I have seen a version of that where hit could also be correctly used as well. In the example below, boke is feminine while hit is neuter in gender. So although we have a feminine noun here, the actual pronoun that refers back to it, hit, is neuter. So it violates that rule of agreement we're talking about. So it is it is where that exception is, and we'll see why shortly, but it's still valid. I mean, we could have had heo here, as in she, but it probably makes more sense to us today to translate it as hit, and also did to them at that time as well, to the Anglo-Saxons of that era. So hit is acceptable because it's a non-living inanimate object. In this case, an inanimate object, but in the case of an animal of unknown gender, you would use hit instead of heo or hey up here. So seo bok kom to us, and away I went on hit on English. So the book came to us and we translated it into English. Seo is also indicates feminine too. The female article, the female demonstrative. Seo bok kom to us, and away I went on hit on English. I compare this with Angel baroch ton me ana bok, ak heo was sawuda Yehowade. Angels brought me a book. Angel baroch ton me ana bok, but it was very slim. Ak heo was sawuda Yehowade. Angels brought me a book, but it was very slim. Notice here, here we go, bulk, feminine, heo, feminine as well. All right, so you could refer to the book as in the feminine form, whereas up here we refer to it with the neuter form hit. You can do that. It does make sense. Either way, it makes sense. At least to the Anglo-Saxons it made sense, but today we wouldn't call a book a her. Well, we're very unlikely to call it a her. And we still call ships she, or her. We sailed in her, but not so much these days now. Now, the noun weef is grammatically neuter, but any pronoun referencing her in a sentence can take the feminine gender, which makes sense because that's the natural gender of weef, referring to woman. So, that me weef ansawurde and the quath that heo walde to kan gan. So the poor woman answered and said that she wanted to go to church. That me weef ansawurde and the quath that heo walde to kan gan. All right, now here we come to the neuter pronouns, hit, that, what, tha, etc. And they use without, the neuter pronouns are used without regard to the number and gender of the pronoun they refer to. Okay, so if we have a look here, that, waren el finnas, that waren el finnas. Singular neuter, that, whereas the finis is plural and masculine. So they don't agree in number or gender. But only you can only do that with the neuter pronouns. And we've seen a little bit of that before on the previous couple of slides. Now, if we have a look at Tha ongan hina efter langian on his kutha, then he began to long for his homeland again. Tha ongan hina, the pronoun hina, masculine, singular, his, neuter, singular, feminine, singular. Now, kutha, homeland, is feminine, singular, and so the pronoun that goes with it needs to be singular as well, but we can use neuter instead of the feminine, because if we look here, it's a male that we're talking about. It's a he, a his, not a she or her. So we can use the neuter in this case because this is a feminine noun and the pronouns that relate to it, or this pronoun here directly relates to this, and we can't have exact grammatical agreement because this is feminine, and so we use the neuter, his, kuthe. Notice too the F symbol, because it's doubled, it has its original value of th, right, the voiceless sound, kuthe, instead of kuthe. So kuthe. All right. So then he began to long for his homeland again. Tha ongan hina eft langien on his kuthe. All right, the definite articles say, seo, that, and tha can also act as pronouns. Say sar chath batha. he feels sorrow with regard to them. Say sargath tha. Say rideth farth, he she rides forth. Why do we know it's he here? Because say is the masculine definite article. Say masculine definite article, say feminine definite article, that and tha neutral. Neuter, sorry. Tha is both for the neuter case, but also for the plural. Masculine and feminine, they all have that form there, but it still acts as can still act as a pronoun. So say for he, and tha is them, plural. Say sarchath tha. Say redeth farth, say redeth farth. Thara was, one of these was. And say unrichtliche afsalayan was, and he was unjustly slain. And perhaps I might have just missed something here, but this should be a dot above here, so be a y sound. Afsalayan was, and he was unjustly slain. Unrichtliche, unjustly, unrightly. Say indicating masculine, he, so it was him that was unjustly slain. Heo fongeth fixus, and heo eteth tha. She catches fish, and she eats them. Eats, eteth, them, tha, and heo is she. Just up here, sarchath tha. Say, so he feels sorrow for them. Right, ich sech tonna, I saw him. Masculine here in the accusative. Thona, which is masculine in the accusative, hence him. So we know it's I saw him and I didn't see her. I saw him. Thona is masculine accusative. That was storm unlutel. It was no small storm. That, in this case, being it. When personal pronouns immediately follow a verb, the verb will sometimes take a set of reduced endings in the present tense. So endings of the form uth and eoth become e. Muchel haba we yasuna chadon. Much have we sinned. Haba instead of habath, to have. Muchel haba we yasuna chadon. Much have we sinned. Yasuna chadon. All right. And what willa ye. And hawat willa ye. Willa instead of willath. And what do you want? Instead of saying and what willeth ye, we would say and what willa ye. And what do you want? They're just a set of reduced endings that became habit. No particular reason other than that. It's noticed, and you can pick it up in the textbooks and so on, but it seems to be noticed in Old English writings, those endings when immediately following personal pronouns, or when personal pronouns immediately follow, there seems to be a dropping of these endings here, so it becomes a habit. Not much more reason than that, really. All right, next bit. Just be aware that personal pronouns in the genitive tend to act like adjectives modifying the noun they refer to. Okay, so personal pronouns in the genitive tend to act like they refer to. So mina here, mean ne instead of mean. I will set my joy on you. All right. But here you set a mean ne hucht on fetch. All right. So this the noun joy and the personal pronoun which is attached to it, my joy, instead of mean, my joy, it's mean ne. So it's the rules it behaves like an adjective, and it follows the rules of an adjective. So just be aware of that. Lots of little things to remember, I know, but little things they add up, and when you see it, hopefully you'll recognize it. All right. Personal pronouns in the genitive can also retain their usual form. Here, his, habath. They have fear of him. His, him, his. Here, they. Habath. So fear of him, fear have of him. You have to supply the of there in the translation. They, him, fear have. You can have here the fear and in the genitive here, and so you need to translate that by putting an of there, fear of him. All right. He asete his handa over heor echan. He set his hands over their eyes. He asete his handa over heor echan. He set his hands over their eyes. Walde hier bern reckon. She wanted to avenge her child. Reckon avenge bern child. Here, hair, and Wold wanted. So she's the one who's wanted. So wanted her child to avenge. A more literal interpretation, but you have to realize that the hero here is connected with the wanted, and you have to translate as she is the one who wanted to avenge her child. And that's it.